Yeah, and so again, you're a constitutional friend from California, and I want to talk to you people, especially who've been victimized by what we call the just us system and the administrative tribunals they use against you. Instead of you getting your right to a trial by jury according to the course of the common law, not to mention federal habeas corpus as well. And this in a time frame when we're going to have a lot of support from the current justices of the U.S. Supreme Court. Now with Trump back in office, Republicans have control of the Senate. We're going to have that court for 10 or 12 years and maybe longer. And they understand a lot of what we're doing and why. So that's the important part. For these purposes, there are no statutes of limitations like you find in these bullshit civil rights cases. 842 USC 1983. That's not what we do. We do, for example, a common law trespass be it arms, uh, which is even a better action. And there's other things we can do also, as you'll learn. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And it doesn't matter how long ago it was, you'll find I have some very interesting ideas that I say with attitude and with authority on who we can recover from and why. So it's really exciting. So that means, for example, you've been involved with a homeowners association, 8 landlord tenant child procurement syndicate. That may be the worst of all, or any of these traffic court, any of these BS administrative agencies that don't have any jurisdiction and they never did, uh, or at least prior to 5:01 p.m. Eastern Time, July 28th, 1868, when the non-existent 14th War Amendment was declared to have gone into effect by then Secretary of State Charles Seward. And he knew better. There's a story about that. I'm still looking for research. If you come across anything like that, let me know by email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. But that amendment not only does not exist, it never did. It was contemporaneously ruled unconstitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court, and they know it. So that's what we have to get to and get rid of this damn amendment and all the federal regional martial law rule with which it's intimately associated. That's why you don't have any rights today, because the citizenship they created, I've learned is just solely foreign state subordinate corporate, nay, dead birthright citizenship. Dead entities don't have any rights. That's the only body politic that's recognized anywhere today from coast to coast. The sooner we get it back, the better off we're going to be. And yes, indeed, this involves free white male 21, no apologies. That's the winning issue. If we get back to where we should be, everyone else will have, as inhabitants of states or even inhabitants of territories, enforceable rights. Well, now you can't get any of these law enforcement thugs that shoot down Jalen Walker 48 times in the back during the course of a traffic stop they wouldn't have had jurisdiction over. Nobody even gets indicted for involuntary manslaughter. But you kill one of these thugs, 8 first-degree murder, death chamber, see you later. How does that possibly figure? Agents of our agents' lives have value. Ours don't. That's what has to change and change in a hurry. And it'll make a big difference, a great difference for all of us, your children, and your posterity. That's what's important here. There's going to be a lot of money involved in this too, which is a nice thing. But making those types of changes is what puts the New York banksters out of business. And we can prove that there's been no known judicial courts anywhere in sight to which we have the right from day one. And they know it in Washington, D.C. on that U.S. Supreme Court. Because no judicial courts means that all laws on the books, all of them, are null and void, nunc pro tunc ab initio, as bills of attainder. Article 1, Section 9 and or Section 10, unless the proponents of the 14th Amendment are going to claim that the ratification of that amendment with a capital RAT uh, effectively destroyed all the rights secured by all 6 articles of the Constitution. And as you'll learn, there were some secret things they went on there nobody knew about at the time who ratified the amendment. Fortunately, you'll learn that none of them that ratified it had any authority to do so. For more information, send me an email, uwinningcourt@gmail.com. And the particulars of this are astounding. And I didn't hear anything like this in school myself 60 odd years ago, outside of Washington, D.C., crying out loud, where you might think we would have much better education in many ways, however. But that said, not a word about this. All we heard about President Johnson, our greatest president. No, not landslide. Ain't Andrew Johnson. And you read his veto of the Reconstruction Act of 1867. He didn't write that. Nostradamus did. And he explained all the problems with this, and that's what he got impeached for. That's a story you'll learn a lot more about. So, send me an email, uwinningcourt@gmail.com, for information on my modestly priced constitutional defense document packets. And it just really, instinctively you knew, just like I knew all those years ago, that I was uncomfortable in banks at the age of 13. I didn't have a clue why, like I do now, but I knew something was wrong. And with elections too, which is a story for another day, but as it happens, I've never voted, but then I've never been qualified to vote, and neither has any other free white male 21 state citizen. You're going to learn all about that. But this is why there's no statute of limitations. We can go back a long way if we need to and make you as whole as we can under the circumstances. So it's exciting stuff. The framers did that good of a job. It was racist framers who ordained and established this Constitution to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Not Chase Bank, not IBM, not Microsoft, us. We're the ones in charge here, and we should start to be acting like it. And the justices on the court know this right now. They're going to have a lot of issues that they're going to have our backs when we get there, because nobody brings what they call an appropriate case there. All this civil rights crap, it doesn't exist. And it'd be nice, guys, if you said that and tell the American people what they're really doing. That's a video for another day. But in any case, as I said, send me an email, uwinningcourt@gmail.com, for information. Meanwhile, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The quicker we take action, the quicker we get back our nation and republic. Federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, and get rid of today's much ballyhooed democracy, aka 3 bulls and 2 sheep voting on what's for dinner, aka today's elective despotism. And that makes it better for all of us, your family, and your posterity. Thank you.